I'm your host with the most, Locum 23. You're joining me for Desire and Decorum, Book 1, Chapter 8. Repute. After Miss Sutton's interruption, you are in the dining room responding to your father's letter. Mr. Harper stands by the door that Miss Sutton just fled through. I'll make sure she doesn't come back through. You don't need to stand like a marauding tiger. I'm quite safe. Only if you think gossip doesn't kill. The Countess will be quite willing to use anything Miss Sutton tells her against us. Or you. You nod reluctantly and turn your attention back to the blank letter in front of you. Touching quill to ink, you start writing. Dearest father, I understand your concerns, but I have received no marriage proposals yet. Until I have more news, you must please me by standing firm against the Countess's urgings that you change your will. I will pray you not to listen to any rumors she might say against me. For now I can tell you that only that I am attending opera with the Duke of Carlington on Saturday. Your loving daughter, Lady Bella of Edgewater. You sign your new name with flourish, then spread sand on the ink to dry it. Now, to just get this to Edgewater before anything Miss Sutton might send. You soften the wax on the sealing stick, then press it to the edge of the folded paper, sealing it with the Edgewater crest. Mr. Woods just took a meal before turning back for Edgewater. If you go to the stables now, you should be able to give him your letter to deliver before he heads out. Collect your letter and rush out to the stables, where you find Mr. Woods holding Briar's hand. It had been my hope that I could see you here. Does that mean you were thinking of me? Every day since your carriage left. As he glances up, Mr. Woods sees you and quickly drops Briar's hand. Mr. Woods. Oh. You'd better be treating my lady with respect. No, don't stop on my account. Don't worry. Whatever you two get up to in the hayloft, I'll keep your secrets. My lady, it's nothing like... I meant, Miss Daly, no respect. She's teasing, Mr. Woods. Ignore her. You hand Mr. Woods your sealed letter. I needed this delivered directly to my father as soon as you returned to Edgewater. I don't want the Countess seeing it first. My loyalty is to your father, my lady, but I have other letters from the Earl that I must deliver before I head home today. I hoped perhaps you were in town for longer. With a glance at you, Mr. Woods takes Briar's hand in both of his. I wish I could stay, but I'd best set out now if I'm to deliver my deliveries before dark. Well, why don't we all go? Diamond choice. What? To make your deliveries. I've hardly seen any of London except this house. Oh, Bella, you've nothing planned until the opera, no? Wouldn't it be fun to go riding together? To deliver letters. Why not? Think of all the people we might see. Briar reaches for Mr. Woods' leather satchel, reading off the names. One for Viscount Westland, Mr. Chambers. Oh, one for Mr. Sinclaire. You are certainly welcome to come with, Lady Bella. His hands brush Briar's, who hooks his pinky finger in hers. And I would take any excuse to spend time with Miss Daly. Briar gives you a hopeful look. Please, Bella, it'll be fun. Why would I spend diamonds on your relationship? I'm just serious. I know we would get to see Mr. Sinclaire, but I don't care right now. I've had a long day already. I'm really too tired to start riding through the city. Then I shall have to give Mr. Woods a thorough farewell. If you could give us a moment, Bella. As you leave the stables, you hear Briar's giggles mixed with Mr. Woods' soft words of endearment. Aww. That night, when the commoners were done frolicking, Briar's holding your sheets, sighing occasionally as she glances out the window towards the road to Edgewater. So are things getting serious between you and Mr. Woods? Briar puts down the sheets and picks up the stitching on your bed hangings. I don't know. I mean, I like him, and my parents would certainly consider him a good match. Well, then, what's the hesitation? I don't know that I'm ready. Not until you have made your decision. I want to go with you if you leave Edgewater when you get married. I can't do that if I've already made a marriage there myself. Briar. Just do what's right for you. I want you to be happy. If you love Mr. Woods, tell him. Don't worry about me. Thank you, Bella, but I don't know yet. My ass. Just promise me when you do, you won't let me hold you back. I promise. Now, let me see what you have decided to wear to the opera. Now, that's not until Saturday. The night of the opera. Miss Parsons bustles through the front door dressed in evening wear and carrying a large basket. Bella, you look lovely. As do you, as always. Is that what you're wearing tonight? Change your mind, it's not too late to shut up. I brought you a little gift. Sort of a surprise. Before she can say more, you hear a funny whine coming from one of the baskets. It's a puppy! The blanket on top wiggles, and you see a curly tail poke out of the back, wagging frantically. Ah, it's a pug. A puppy! How adorable! Come here, you sweet little cherub. Let me guess, Diamond Choice 2? You reach down to help the pug puppy out of the basket. He gnaws on your fingers with stubby, harmless teeth. Oh, you are a fierce little warrior, aren't you? I'm so glad you like him, Bella. My pug Rosie had puppies a few weeks ago, and my sister is saying she absolutely will not keep them in her house another moment. So you thought you'd foist one on for me? She keeps threatening to send her groom to dump them in the park the next time I go out. Wow. Would your sister really do that? I think she might, and it would just break my heart. Oh. Parsons rolls the puppy onto his back and muses the fur on his round belly. I found homes for most of them already, but this one's my favorite. She lets the puppy go, and he runs towards the door on his stubby legs, barking fiercely. Yes, you're a ferocious little thing, aren't you? So, I want him to go with you. Then I'll have even more reason to come over every day. What? We're not reason enough? Adopt the pug to gain a new companion and unlock exclusive scenes in London throughout your story. In the arms. An angel, hold me tight tonight. God damn it. Of course I'll keep this little angel. Thank you so much, Annabelle. You kneel by the puppy, keeping your skirts pulled aside, and join Miss Parsons in rubbing his tummy. The puppy wiggles ecstatically. I wanted you to always have something to remind you of me, even if my family succeeds in marrying me off. I could never forget you, Annabella. Your hands meet, fingers touching across the puppy's warm fur. The moment is broken as a wet tongue laps at your twined fingers. Well, if that's all it takes to break a moment. Now all he needs is a name. Yes. What do you want to call him? Oh, I hate this part. Sonny. Really, his name is Sonny? You know what? I'm gonna go with... I saw a name in our Twitch chat. Hey, look at that! Look at that, guys! Imagine if you were on Twitch right now, you'd get to decide the name of this puppy's name. Dun 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 dun! Dun 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 dun! Pugsley. I think I'll call him Pugsley. Do you like that, Pugsley? Do you? You let the puppy take your hand in his little teeth and pull back in a tug of war. That's the perfect name for him. He definitely looks like a Pugsley. I know you do. Yes, you do. Briar comes into the room and drops to her knees the moment she sees the puppy. A puppy! Briar quickly gathers the puppy in her arms, not worrying about the fur on her clothing. Arr! This is Pugsley. Do you mind watching him while we're at the show, Briar? Do I mind? I have a reason not to be jealous. I'm missing the opera. She dangles on one of the handkerchiefs for the puppy to pounce on. Well, go ahead. You don't need me, do you? Parsons looks out the window. Oh, Prince Hamid is just pulled up outside. Oh, your mother's definitely looking down on you today. Driven to her old piano, or old opera house, by the prince. I follow Miss Parsons to the door. Shh, I don't know where piano came up. Shh, it's words popping up in my head. Ruff! Sorry, Pugsley, no puppies at the opera. Step towards the door, but Pugsley follows forlornly. Briar? Come here, Pugsley. Briar holds a whimpering puppy as you and Miss Parsons head out. You and Miss Parsons ride with Prince Hamid in his luxurious carriage. So he's not a gentleman who comes to the door, knocks, says hello, takes your arm, guides you to the carriage? Oh, who knew? You both look stunning this evening. You are even more beautiful in the evening than in the daylight. And you are just a big flirt. The prince winks at you and kisses your hand. I am so pleased to be with you the first time you see a show performed at your mother's theater. It will be almost like having her with me again. And what have you been doing since we saw you last, your highness? There's a slight jealous edge to Miss Parsons' voice, and you feel her leg brush against yours as if for reassurance. More meetings with Parliament? Don't worry, Miss Parsons. I'll take you both. No. Oh, moving on. Indeed, no, the old men are worse than market gossips and far less likely to conclude their business. A shadow crosses Prince Hamid's face. I am ashamed to say even I heard them talking of you the other day. Me? I do not wish to ruin this evening, but you should know what some of my peers are saying. You are not of your father's blood. What? They said you were nothing but an opportunist, taking advantage of a sentimental old man. Who? This is Countess Henriette's doing. Miss Parsons looks thoughtful. Didn't you tell me that Miss Holloway said much the same thing the other night? The Countess may not be your only enemy. And who knows what Miss Sutton may have told her about me by now. Of course, I spoke out on your behalf. I'm glad someone did. I told them I know you quite well, and there's no doubt that you are a woman of gentle breeding and refinement. Prince Hamid smiles and leans across the small space between the carriage seats, his knees brushing yours. Yes, but here's the thing about old white men in Europe and in the 1800s. They didn't give a shit about what you from India have to say. Prince Hamid smiled. Okay, yeah, we did that. An impeccable taste. Thank you. Your opinion is the only one I care about. I don't care what the rest of them say, as long as you think well of me. Prince draws your hand into his fingers stroking yours gently. I would rather be there with you than to speak to any lord in London. He lets his fingers drift higher past your wrist, spending one brief instant on the bare skin of your arm. Well, there will always be people who are small-minded and jealous. But the rumors can't have gone far if the Duke of Carleton invited you to share his box tonight. As you gaze out the carriage window, you can feel Prince Hamid's eyes on you. I will show them all that I am a true lady. When you pull up in front of the Opera House, Duke Richards is pacing. When he sees Prince Hamid help you from the carriage, his face tightens into a scowl. About time you got here, Your Highness. I thought you'd miss the whole show. Do I have the time wrong? The show doesn't start for more than a half an hour. So you were planning on to claim Lady Bella up until the moment it began? Miss Parsons smiles at the Duke, trying to calm him. We are here now. Indeed, and the show has yet to... The Duke cuts him off, kissing your hand and then pulling you to his side. Lady Bella, the Prince may have stolen you for the ride, but now I stake my claim. Your Grace. Ugh! Oh, we have to be polite. Remember, 1800s women are oppressed. Please don't fight with Prince Hamid. You catch Duke Richard's arm with a placating smile. We're all here. There's no need to argue. Shall we take our seats then? The Duke holds your arm, preventing you from walking after Prince Hamid. I'm afraid my box only seats 3. All chairs are spoken for. Oh. Does this leave you without your seat, Your Highness? I hope you weren't not assuming you would sit with us. Prince Hamid makes an effort to smile. No, it's fine. I purchased my own seat in the orchestra. Prince Hamid reaches for your hand, but stops at the Duke's glare, bows instead. I hope you enjoy the show, Lady Bella. You as well. Yes, enjoy the show, Your Highness. Prince Hamid walks into the theater, pausing to look at you, and with longing in his eyes. You touch a finger to your lips, not daring to do more. Only after the prince disappears through the doors of the Opera House does the Duke smile and release your arm. Shall we? Shall I smack you? Yes. You start up the stairs towards the Duke's box, glancing at the crowd. Suddenly Miss Parsons grabs your arms, whispering urgently. Oh no! What? Don't let him see me. But the Viscount Westlany has already noticed you coming up the stairs. He reaches for Miss Parsons with both hands. Ah, the lovely Miss Parsons. You know, I came by your sister's house looking for you. You were nowhere to be found. Yes, that was definitely intentional. Unconventional. Ah, yes, that's what I love about you, my girl. Ah, thank God you're deaf. He tries to pull Miss Parsons into an embrace, and she ducks under his arm to keep walking. So, sorry we can't continue this. Why don't you come by again tomorrow, and I'll still not be there. What was that about? The disgusting old lecher thinks he fancies me. Oh, you poor thing. Ahead of you, Duke Richard greets Mr. Chambers and Miss Holloway. Look what I'm dealing with. Do you want to switch? Your Grace, what a pleasant surprise. And Lady Bella, pleasure, as always. The Duke gives you a big bark of laughter. Ha ha! And what happened to you, Chambers? Miss Holloway's mother rope you into taking her tonight. Mr. Chambers flushes, and Miss Holloway's eyebrows knit furiously. Excuse me? I don't think His Grace meant anything personal. Perhaps you would prefer to escort me, Your Grace. I would be far more appropriate companion for the Duke than some common opportunist. No. Remember, we have to have manners. Nope, you know what I'm doing. You want the Duke, you can have him. Duke Richard's smile freezes on his face.
Do not push me too far, Lady Bella. I'm not yours to give away.
Duke steers you up the stairs, nodding goodbye to Miss Holloway. Hey! It's called the illusion and reverse psychology, so,
Enjoy the show, Miss Holloway. Good luck getting Chambers to look away from the dinners.
He lowers his voice to a whisper, too.
A few of them are rumored to be a bit more light in the loafers.
Miss Parsons stiffens at the Duke's comment, and your mouth thins into a grim line. A moment later, you reach the lavish box, jutting forward, straight over the center of the crowd. Miss Parsons looks over the room. You know, I still can't believe I've seen Mr. Sinclaire here.
Mr. Sinclaire has never appreciated the finer things in life. His tastes are far more base.
Nothing wrong with being base. I can't imagine what you're referring to.
I wouldn't expect you to be able to. A sweet young thing like you. Let's just say he's probably found something or someone more to his tastes.
Are you suggesting Mr. Sinclair seeking illicit company?
Let's just say I know that he spends certain weekends in London visiting a house of ill repute.
Mr. Sinclair at the house of ill repute? I don't believe that. The Duke's eyes narrow.
You know so much about Sinclair, don't you? You're so ready to defend him.
I cannot imagine him seeking the company of those loose women.
You have a lot to learn about men, my sweet.
Okay. Apparently I'm seeking illicit repute every weekend, then. You know, I just, never mind. There's a sudden swell of music from below, and the actors begin to pour onto the stage. Shh, this show is starting. Round in the flame, question mark? The lights go down on the actors on the stage, begin to sing, the Italian words washing over you in trillion soprano and soaring tenor voices. The Duke slides closer, letting his leg brush against yours. He leans over to whisper in your ear.
Ever since you told me about your mother, I've been picturing you up there in one of those costumes.
He follows gaze to where the princess's deluctrage is nearly spilling out of her tight bodice. Is that the prince singing now? Scooting away, you desperately point at the stage there. A new tenor is just starting an area.
I believe that's the clerk.
He gives you a leering smile and moves closer again. Oh, God, stop it.
A lover.
You keep your gaze firmly forward, trying to ignore the Duke's whispered remarks as you follow the story on stage. The princess finds a secret note just as the Duke's hand creeps up the rest of your shoulder. Move away. Silently, you try to shrug off your shoulder from under his hand, moving to the edge of your seat.
Relax, everyone's eyes are on the show. No one's watching us.
Oh, God. Jesus, no. Literally everyone is watching. You sit stiffly, elbow out to prevent him from moving any closer. A long while later, you breathe a sigh of relief as the orchestra winds down and the crowd begins to stir for intermission. A nobleman approaches. Your Grace, may I have a moment?
Ladies, excuse me.
The Duke turns with a sigh, and you finally relax as he leaves the box to talk with another lord. Oh, I cannot believe he tried to stab a lover. How do you suppose they'll end up together? I don't know. I was too busy defending myself from being ravished by an old idiot. She notices your silence. Bella, did the Duke make it so hard for you to enjoy the show? I hardly saw any of it. I was so busy fending him off. I saw a little of what he was doing. He was such a little boy with his hands in the sweets. In the sweets? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Does he have no respect for you? I cannot imagine he does, Annabella. He seems to think he has not invited me to the opera so much as bought my company for the evening. Switch places with me. Then he cannot keep pressing himself on you, and you'll be able to enjoy the show. I wouldn't ask you to put yourself in that... There's no interest in me. That's plain. I'll be fine. You let Miss Parsons pull you up from your seat. You settle into hers just as Duke Richard returns. You switch seats. I was having trouble seeing from where I was, and Lady Bella was kind enough to switch with me. Well, then you should take my seat, Miss Parsons. I shall take your old one. I am far taller than Lady Bella. I'm fine where I am, Your Grace. But I am not. This is my box, and I shall choose who I sit beside. Oh, God. If I throw you out of your box and over the edge right here and you fall to your death, hey, whose box will it be then? You know what? I will sit there if you plan to be a gentleman. The Duke's smile is predatory as he pulls you closer. I am always a gentleman, Lady Bella. Ugh. Parson gives you a helpless look as you reluctantly squeeze into the seat between her and the Duke. Hands to yourself, then. I will have to be content to devour you with my eyes. The show is starting. You put a hand down to stop the Duke's fingers from creeping towards your leg again as he leans close to whisper in your ear. And now they are to have a duel for her honor. But I have a duel of taking a dagger out of my thigh and... Ooh, mother! What, women kept, like, daggers and things like that all the time up there. After the show, you, Miss Parsons, and the Duke slowly picked your way down the stairs. But as you near the exit, Viscount Westonleigh notices you.
Ah, my dear Miss Parsons, did you enjoy the show?
Yes, very...
Ah, in my day, the singers were much louder. I don't know how they expect anyone to hear them whispering like that.
You're going deaf. How should we tell you? I don't think they had sign language in the 1800s, so... let me write it down for you. Perhaps the singers weren't the problem.
Eh?
She said we have to go now. Miss Parsons tries to push past the old man, but he steps to block her way.
May I be so bold as to offer you a ride home?
No.
An excellent idea, old friend.
She said no.
Don't worry, Lady Bella. I will be taking you home in my carriage. You needn't worry about Miss Parsons or the Ottoman Prince.
Parsons looks at the Viscount and rolls her eyes. Fine, take me home then. But we're going straight there. Viscount Westonleigh smiles and nods as the Duke takes your arm and steers you outside. You emerge into the night, where you see a familiar figure hurrying down the street, carrying a stack of parcels in his arms. Hey! Is that...
I can guess what sort of baldy house he's headed to, with papers.
What is he carrying?
Wait here, I'll find my driver.
As the Duke wades into the sea of carriages, Mr. Sinclaire nearly disappears around a corner. Not stopping to think about it, you duck out of the Duke's sight and follow. Ooh! You hang back out of sight as you follow Mr. Sinclaire down the broad London thoroughfares. Where are you going, Mr. Sinclaire? Soon the streets grow narrow, the buildings change from white stone to dirty brick. Mr. Sinclaire stops at a rundown building where two women in low-cut dirty gowns lounge on the step. The Duke was right. Mr. Sinclaire hears you and whirs around. What are you doing here, Lady Bella? This is no place for a young lady. Is this place what it looks like? What does it look like? It looks like you're visiting a house of ill repute. Mr. Sinclaire takes a breath as if to argue, then lets it out and turns around. He opens his parcel and hands blankets and a loaf of bread to one of the women on the step. For the children. Woman's eyes fill with gratitude, and she bobs a quick curtsy to Mr. Sinclaire, then disappears inside. Yes, this is home for fallen women. Some might say I should judge them harshly for that, but their children do not deserve to freeze or to starve. So you're here to help the children? The women as well. They are doing their best. I've helped a few of them find other work. I don't understand. Why would you hide such kindness? I'm not doing it for recognition. But Duke Richards is telling everyone that you've sullied yourself with women here. It'll destroy your reputation. I care nothing for good opinion of anyone who would believe such rumors. I like you even more now. Mr. Sinclaire hands out the rest of his parcels, more bread and fruits, and a few children's frocks. Come, I'll walk you home. This part of London isn't safe at night. Mr. Sinclaire offers you his arm, courteously waiting until you lay your hand in his before walking. But why let the Duke tarnish your good name? Surely you could stand up to him. His grip on your arm tightens momentarily. He is a duke, not only 2 generations removed from royalty, but I'm a country squire. How exactly should I oppose him? Tell the truth when he spreads lies about you. Maybe even the truth of why he hates you in the first place. Mr. Sinclaire doesn't answer for a long moment as he leads you down a narrow street. Not many of the gentry ever bother to come to this part of the city. They look at the broken windows and the dirt on the streets and judge it not worthwhile. But I've found some of the most beautiful sights in London by looking past that and exploring what's really here. But what does that have to do with Duke Richards? Oh, lady. If only you knew. Forget Duke Richards. Mr. Sinclair sighs deeply, regaining his composure. He looks deeply into your eyes. Can we do that? This night, this hour, can we forget either of us ever met Duke Richards? Let us just be a man and a woman walking together in London. Mr. Sinclair. Mr. Sinclair takes your hand, and fingers delicately tracing your knuckles. Let me show you Westminster Bridge at night. With the lamps lit, the whole city looks like a sky full of stars. Spend time with Mr. Sinclair in this exclusive scene to improve your relationship and visit Westminster Bridge. Ah, I like your smile. This is like one of the first times you've actually smiled. Travel straight home. We already bought a pug. I'm afraid I cannot. My maid will be expecting me home from the opera. I'm sure she's already worried for me. To Grosvenor Square, then. I would not have your household worry. He leads you swiftly through the city, retracing your footsteps until you recognize the streets around your townhouse. Have a good night, Lady Bella. And you as well, Mr. Sinclair. You push open the townhouse door and hear a familiar voice. It's very late to return from the opera, is it not, Bella? Lady Grandmother? Walk into the drawing room and see the Dowager Countess sitting ramrod straight in one of the chairs. Don't fall over yourself to greet me, child. Lady Grandmother, something happening in Edgewater? Your grandmother quickly shakes her head. Everything is fine at home. But Miss Sutton writes the Countess with some very disturbing rumors about your behavior here, Bella. Whatever she said, it's not true. So I decided to come here myself to take the rest of your debut into my own hands. Oh no. Now that the Dowager Countess is here, what will happen? Oh look! What will your grandmother do to take control of your debut? Find out in what Mr. Morrowcaster's private card game. Will you draw the Queen of Hearts or wind up with the Deuce? This is stupid. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't think this book's gonna make it to book 2. I'm sorry. No. We're at chapter 8. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. I'm just finding it very cringy to deal with the Duke, the old people. Like, I don't know what Pixelberry's going for here. Like, we all know the 1800s was shit. We all know. That's why we live in going on 2019 right now. It's a good 200 years later. Yes, quite a few things has changed. We all know that. You know, kind of like people having slaves and racism. It's died down quite a bit. Um, I just don't know what they're going for. It's just very cringy. We're not going for Rake and Recluse-esque, where the MC went to change the men's minds that they were with subtly and slowly and try and bring on age of change and giving women respect. We're so busy trying to appease to Duke Richards and manners and being nice while everybody is sexually assaulting us, is harassing us, is doing things that are, in our time now, very unrespectful, is about the best way to put it. I don't understand, like, Rake and Recluse, again, chapters, fantastic book compared to this. um, Rake and Recluse actually brought on showing women gaining their independence and gaining themselves. And, it wasn't, hey, I'm taking off my bra and burning it or fighting for equal rights. It was, just slowly convincing the men that they were vying for, or vice versa, that to treat them on equal footing. Yes, you could have a little bit of different view in the public eye, and both parties would understand that, but then the male party would pull the female party aside and take upon their opinion. That has been a thing that long before 1800s happened, long before even 1000 happened, where basically, yes, the queen, at the end of the day, she did have a position of authority. She was the queen, or she was someone that the prince or the man was vying for, so she had that power. So I don't understand. I don't understand what Pixelberry is really going for. These two options between you're a rude, pompous biatch and oh yes, please go ahead. The option of no, go ahead, don't move, don't say nothing as he sexually assaults you. No, I'm sorry. I don't vie with that. I don't vie with that. Nah. And I actually look down on Pixelberry for putting that choice in there. Women, like I said, long before 1800s, were standing up for themselves and taking authority. And ironically, that's how some of the most famous women throughout history had met some of their mates, because they showed some independence. They weren't the commoner trash that people are discounting us for. So Pixelberry, change it. Hopefully I start a movement. I don't know. Just change it. It's wrong. It's not right. We shouldn't be vying to be disrespected so we can get a relationship. I'm sorry, you're sending the very wrong, horrible message to people playing this. Especially since this is a PG game, you're sending a really bad message to girls who are playing this who are basically underage. You're sending a very bad message. And I hope this critique goes to Pixelberry. Change it, fix it, do better. You're supposed to do change and you're supposed to make things riveting and stories. Change it, do better. I'm asking you, I'm telling you. As a guy, I'm offended. I can only imagine some women. So, just saying. With that being said, I hope you all did enjoy the video. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. You can always join us on Twitch for streaming. We stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for choices. The seniors coming out this weekend, or this week on Friday. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some streams. We've been to Spider-Man, fantastic game. You guys can really check it out. And also, we've been doing a lot of other streams as well. Check them out. I'm trying to bring our audience over from YouTube, which apparently Vic Ava's channel got deleted. Like I said, YouTube is just, it's sinking, and I just want to get the fuck off the platform. Okay? Alright. I know, I'll be penalized for the F word, I don't care. With that being said, thanks for tuning in, I'll catch you all later.